for all the people who are suffering around the world, especially the Muslims, the believers who are suffering, with the salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. First of all, congratulations on the arrival of blessed month of Ramadan, a month that without a doubt is a spring of worship, is a time that the Messenger of God and the Ahlul Bayt were awaiting it, counting every day. They had this countdown for the month of Ramadan. And we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we were fortunate enough to live to experience another Ramadan. As you know, for the past few years, the COVID time, we lost many family members, many community members, many brothers and sisters that they wished, I'm pretty sure, if we could have heard what they had to say in Barzakh, what they were wishing for in the life after death, one of their wishes would have been to experience another Ramadan, to gather from the blessings, to collect the bounties of this blessed month, inshallah. So we are grateful, and we ask Allah, inshallah, that every night that we come and participate, we learn something that we can practice and implement to our lives, and that knowledge becomes a way, a guide, a roadmap to getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. Otherwise, additional knowledge without implementation would become an additional burden, an additional weight on our shoulder, and it will be a hijab, it will be a barrier between us and the truth. There is two important matters when it comes to the month of Ramadan that I want us to pay attention to. Number one is the time that we're in, which is Ramadan, this specific month. Shahru Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. And the second is fasting in the month of Ramadan. Some people confuse these two together, meaning that they think that if I cannot fast in Ramadan, I lost Ramadan. When in teachings of the Prophet and the teachings that we have from Ahlul Bayt, it's been said that one thing is about fasting, which has the highest of reward, which we will get to in a few minutes. But another is to just know the significance, the importance of this month, the month of Ramadan. For some who are due to old age or due to illness, they cannot fast. Still, Ramadan is Ramadan for them. Yes, they cannot fast. Fasting is not wajib and obligatory for them, but it's still the sacredness of this month still there. The sacredness, the importance, the blessings of this month. Prophet said, فَضْلُهُ عَلَى سَائِرِ الشُّهُورِ كَفَضْلِ أَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ عَلَى سَائِرِ النَّاسِ. Prophet, this is a prophetic hadith. So if you want to know the importance of Ramadan, to compare the month of Ramadan with the rest of the year is if you try to compare the family of the Prophet, Ahlul Bayt, the 14 Ma'asumin, with the rest of humanity, with the rest of people. How there's not a lot to compare when it comes to their merits and their qualities. The month of Ramadan has that kind of supremacy over the rest of the year. Again, Prophet said, لا يكونن شهر رمضان عندكم كغيره من الشهور. Do not treat the month of Ramadan similar to the other month of the year. Do not say, oh, it's just another month. Especially if you're not fasting, it could happen. I'm not fasting, so it's another month for me. And Prophet said, don't let that to be the case. فَإِنَّ لَهُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ حُرْمَةً وَفَضْلًا. Indeed, this month has a hurmat, sacredness, holiness, وَفَضْلًا. It has that preference to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's not only about Ramadan. There are similar examples that we can have. For example, one is to pray at Masjid al-Haram. Another is to be at Masjid al-Haram, right? Even if somebody doesn't pray at Masjid al-Haram, not that let's say they just go, they already did their salat. Just to be there is rewarding. Just to go and be by and looking at the Kaaba is rewarding, without worship. In month of Ramadan, even if somebody doesn't fast, just you breathe in month of Ramadan, there's a blessing with it. این رو به عزیزانی میگم که روزه نمیگیرن. اگر روزه نمیگیرین هم فکر نکنیم که رمضان رو ما از دست دادیم. یک مسئله روزه ماه رمضان است، یکی درک ماه رمضان است. ممکن است کسی به خاطر مریضی، به خاطر کهولت سن نتواند روزه بگیرد. این به این معنا نیست که از ماه رمضان محروم است. هنوز ماه رمضان و ارزش و جایگاه خودش رو در نزد خدا دارد، ولو برای کسی که روزه نتواند بگیرد. هنوز قرائت قرآن، هنوز سحر بلند شدن، هنوز عبادت، ذکر گفتن در این ماه اجرش با بقیه سال قابل مقایسه نیست. مبادا که حالا به خاطری که روزه از ما برداشته شده است بگیم خب این ماه هم برای ماه مثل سالهای مثل بقیه سال برای ما باشد. خدای نکرده. Just to say the importance of this month, all the sacred books were revealed in this month. Month of Ramadan is the month that is so special that all the holy books, all the holy scriptures were sent down in the month of Ramadan. We have a riwayah narration that said that نزلت صحف إبراهيم في أول ليلة في شهر رمضان. The first night of Ramadan was the night that the book of Musa, the book of Ibrahim, that which is named Suhuf, scriptures. It was revealed at the first night of Ramadan. أنزلت التوراة لست مضيت في شهر رمضان. On the sixth night, Torah of Musa was revealed. Injil was revealed on the 13th of Ramadan. Zabur of Dawood alayhi salam was revealed on the 18th of Ramadan. And in this riwayah said that the Quran was revealed on the night of 23rd. That's why we have in our narrations, yes, Laylatul Qadr, the night of Qadr is one night, which we say there are probable nights of Qadr. We have in narrations, all the odd nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan could be the night of Qadr. All the odd nights, 21st, 23rd that we have. But knowing that the one that has been emphasized more than others in our narrations is the night of 23rd. That for whatever reason, if you cannot stay awake and spend time in worship on the 19th or the 21st, do not miss the 23rd. That's the importance of it. So this is that month. Once again, Prophet said, شهر أوله رحمة وأوسطه مغفرة وآخره الإجابة والعتق من النار. So the way that this hadith divided the month of Ramadan is that month of Ramadan is that month that the beginning of it is mercy. As soon as we start with the discomfort, the changes that happens to our sleep schedule, as Haji Farzad mentioned, and our eating and diet and everything, that is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah said, you experience that discomfort because of me. So the beginning of that is mercy. The middle of the month is maghfirah, is forgiveness. Once you fast by the end of Ramadan, then it said the middle is forgiveness. The end of Ramadan is ijaba, is to get the responses. Is the time of answer. Ijaba come from jawab, which means to get the answer. By the end of Ramadan is the answer. And what is the greatest answer to get from Allah? Al-'itq min an-nar, is to be forgiven and get freedom, stamped from the freedom of the punishment of Allah, from the fire, from hellfire. That's the ultimate journey of Ramadan. Mercy, forgiveness, and ultimately getting to the freedom from the punishment and the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I don't want to spend a lot of time, again, it's a short time. I wanted to just, because it's the first night of our program, as you know, it mentioned, tonight is the evening of the 3rd, tomorrow is the 4th, but it's the beginning of the night and is a tradition that the first night we usually bring the importance, because it happens, we live in this society that majority of people around us, they don't fast. They go on, and treat this as it is another day in their lives. And it may happen that we don't take it seriously as well. So, okay, it's just another time. I want us to reconsider that and know that how special and what a great opportunity this time is. With the least amount of efforts, right? With the least amount of effort, you get the highest amount of rewards. I think you said the ROI, right? Is that the one? ROI, the return of investment. This is the one of the highest ROI that you can imagine in a spiritual time. Because your breathing counts as ibadat. One verse of Quran, Allah reward us the completion of the entire Quran. One ayah. So you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, you already got as if you complete the entire thing. This is Allah's mercy. This is why this called the month of mercy. Not that much effort, but a lot of reward. There is a dua in Mafatihul Jinan, which brings us to this, the guide to Ramadan. How to treat Ramadan. How to live through Ramadan. The dua says this is what we should ask in Ramadan. Allahumma sallimni min Ramadan. Ya Allah, give me health, give me well-being in Ramadan. Another way, protect me from illness so I can fast, I can do ibadat, I can worship. So I want health in order to serve you better, to pray. So Allahumma sallimni min Ramadan. وَسَلِّمْ رَمَضَانَ لِي. This is that interesting twist. Ya Allah, protect Ramadan from me. Ya Allah, protect me for Ramadan, deliver me to Ramadan healthy, but keep Ramadan safe and healthy from me. Can we harm Ramadan? Can we damage Ramadan? Yes. This is a month of mercy, but what we do with it during the day, it could be destructive to it. That month of mercy can turn to something that is not as pleasant. Our akhlaq and manners, our words that we say. There's so much that we can say that our actions affects this month. Especially when we do not treat it with respect. When we do not consider the sacredness of this month. And then there is a third part to the dua. وَتَسَلَّمْهُ مِنِّي مُتَقَبِّلًا. Ya Allah, help me to deliver the month of Ramadan, deliver my fasting also sound and healthy. So help me to fast, help me not to damage it, and help me to deliver it until it's accepted by you. So I don't do it for show off, I don't do it insincerely, so I can deliver it right. These are the three statements is recommended to say in month of Ramadan. But what are some tips that I can say that inshallah we finish? There's a lot to say. But in Ramadan, be more careful about few things. Number one, which is again from the teachings of the Prophet, said, Kulu al-halal yutimmu lakum sawmakum. If you eat halal, and again, we're not talking about zabiha halal. We're talking about the way you earn your money as well. Lawful income, halal income as well. You make the right money and you spend it right. The hadith said that if you eat halal, even if you have imperfections in your fast, we will complete it for you. We will compensate for you. If you do it with halal. The ayah I recited from Surah Baqarah, verse 168, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, kulu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiba. Eat from what is lawful and pure in the earth. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. And do not follow in the Satan's steps. Do not follow his temptations. Who cares what I eat? As long as it doesn't matter how I make money, as long as I provide for my family. I don't do it for myself. These are خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. These are steps of shaitan to justify a wrong. Because remember, when shaitan disobeyed Allah, he didn't say, I disobeyed, I agree, I accept. What he said? He said, no, it's your fault. He blamed Allah for his mistake. He said, Adam is not worthy of my prostration. So I did the right thing that I disobeyed. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you should do it this way. You should stay away from this kind of money. These are not halal money. This is not a halal food. And for me to find excuse, to say, no, it doesn't matter. As long as, I do it right, the way I consider it, my family needs it. I don't want my family to depend on others. Justifying my wrong, I'm following, and then khutuwat al-shaytan, on the steps of shaitan. And Allah said, La tattabi'u. Do not follow shaitan. Care about the halal that comes to your life. So be aware that as we come at the time of iftar, take a bite that is halal. There's this story from Ayatollah Muhammad Reza Najafi, a great ulama who lived around 100 years ago. And it been mentioned that in this story, there was this famous thief who would basically steal, and was known that he was so fast and he was so good at his job that nobody was able to catch him in the act. But there was one thing unique about him, and that was that month of Ramadan, when it arrived, he would not steal anymore. So the month of Ramadan was his vacation. He would consider the sacredness of the month of Ramadan. He would stop stealing. He was a pickpocket, by the way. He was a pickpocket. And at the time of iftar, he would come by the schools with the students of Islam, a student of religion were learning. He would come and ask people, ask the students, give me some money. So, don't you have any money yourself? We know that you're wealthy. And he would show them that I have a lot of money, but none of it is halal. And I've been fasting. You may say you're a thief and now you care about halal. He said, yes. Apparently, there are people that they have some limits, some boundaries. And for this guy, Ramadan was the limit. That in Ramadan, I'm not going to do it. We have people who don't drink alcohol in Ramadan. Unfortunately, they do in the rest of the year. But Ramadan, they have it. May Allah guide all of us. But that's not say, okay, because you do it this, it doesn't matter. At least you do it in Ramadan. May Allah, because of keeping the sacredness of Ramadan, guide you. So this person cared about Ramadan. Said, yeah, I've been fasting the whole day. I do not want to break my fast with unlawful and haram money. So they would collect some money and go get something for iftar. And we have this Ayatollah Najafi said, that this person before he died, he repented. And ultimately, Allah guided him. He left this dunya on husnul aqibah. He had a good ending. Because ultimately he cared about the halal and haram. So in Ramadan, be careful about the halal and haram. Number two is that we just did the salah. And some people said, okay, should we break our fast first? Should we do iftar? And there's always this back and forth. There is this riwayah from Imam Ali alayhi salam that he narrated from the Prophet. He said, what is the Prophet's sunnah? He said, as-sunnah ta'jilul fitr wa ta'akhiru suhoor wal ibtida' bis salah. So this is the way of Prophet. Ta'jilul fitr means is to do your iftar fast. To break your fast as soon as possible. Wa ta'akhiru suhoor, to delay your suhoor and sahari closest to the fajr as possible. Of course, not the imsak time, before that. Try to not have your suhoor, let's say 12 a.m. Try to have it as close as possible. That's sunnah, that's not wajib. That's not mandatory, but that's better if you can. Wal ibtida' bis salat. But also sunnah of the Prophet is to start with salah. So do your salah first, then break your fast. That's the sunnah. But look at the continuation. يعني صلاة المغرب. It's better, the sunnah of the Prophet, to do your maghrib first and then do iftar. الابتداء بالصلاة يعني صلاة المغرب قبل الفطر. Fitr means iftar in this case. إلا أن يحضر الطعام. Unless the table is ready until the food is ready. So the sunnah is to do your salat first, to do your prayer, namaz first, then do iftar, unless food is ready. بدأ به. If food is ready, let's say your poor wife been cooking and everything is ready, go. Do your iftar first. People waiting for you. If everybody like masjid, you don't have a choice. Everybody have to go. It's like a forceful tawfiq, right? You come and you have to. But let's say if you go somewhere and there are 5 people doing iftar and 5 want to do salat. If the food is ready, do not make them wait. Go do your iftar. ثم صلى. Then pray after iftar. ولم يدع الطعام ويقوم إلى الصلاة. Do not abandon the food if it's ready and go into salat. This is not sunnah. Is it haram? No, it's not. But this is what's better. So if there's a confusion, should I break my fast or not? This is the hadith. This is the narration clarifying the matter for us. And it brings me to the final one. The third one is to give sadaqah at the time of iftar. Giving sadaqah at the time of iftar. If you cannot give sadaqah, meaning poor to the poor, sadaqah by the way means to spend, to do something. to give a cup of water to somebody who's been fasting, to deliver food for those who are fasting, right? Do your best to be at service at the time of iftar. That's a free reward for you to collect. Imam Zain al-Abidin, we have that he would slaughter, he would cut the meat, he would make a stew, he would distribute it by his own hand to the people, then he would break his fast. This is the importance of giving. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq of being among those who look at the month of Ramadan as an opportunity, as a great gift, not just as a burden. I know it is challenging, especially in the early days with the changes that go through our schedule, but looking at it as an opportunity to transform our spirituality, to get a new, fresh beginning, a clean slate, and ultimately is a great opportunity to prepare for the Day of Judgment. يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي. Surah Al-Fajr. Allah said when people die, one of their greatest regret is, I wish I would have sent something ahead when I was alive. يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي. I wish I would have sent something. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once again help us to complete the month of Ramadan with sincerity and ikhlas, inshallah. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك على كل شيء قدير. Before we recite a Fatiha, remember tomorrow is Jum'ah, so we have our Friday prayer. So when you have a lunch break, you don't have a lunch. So I hope I see you for Jum'ah. So it's 1 p.m. inshallah. We have Jum'ah at 1 p.m. if you can make it. And then inshallah tomorrow night we will see you. Our nightly program starts at 6:15 with Quran recitation. Alhamdulillah, people come to recite early. And then by the time of iftar, inshallah, we finish the Quran recitation. إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات ولشفاء مرضانا رحم الله لمن قرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. For the sponsor of tonight's iftar and for anyone who helped and those who chipped in to make sure tonight was possible, let's recite another Surah Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Let's inshallah conclude with a ziyarah. Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulallah, ya Nabi Allah, ya khayra khalqillah, ya khatam al-nabiyyin. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين ويا إمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليكم أيها الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة أجمعين. السلام على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي العسكري والخلف الهادي المهدي عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. صدق الله العلي العظيم. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات صلوات على محمد وآله الطاهرين.